Hello beautiful people out there, it's your host Tovi Mark. You're welcome to Artified Optimist. If you're new to the channel, please click the subscribe button just below this video, and if you're also new, please click the bell notification icon so that every time I drop new videos you can be notified. Now today I want to dive in on the issue of the popular dancer in Nigeria known as Picture Kodak. Alright, so she died a few days ago. Mysterious issues surrounding her death. And of course these issues are linked to Clarence Peter, the movie producer. Clarence Peter has given his own sides of the story, so I want to dive into that story today. So the headline for this story is two hospitals rejected Kodak's electrocuted body, according to Clarence Peters. So Clarence Peters, also known as Clarence Shorthead, has finally narrated his side of the events of Wednesday, April 29 that led to the death of video vixen Love Divine, aka Picture Kodak. She was reportedly electrocuted in Clarence Peters' studio while charging her phone. According to the experienced music director, producer, and cinematographer, after Picture Kodak collapsed, she was rushed to a hospital but was rejected twice. It was at the third hospital she was pronounced dead. On the 29th of April 2020, Love Divine, EK, also known as Picture Kodak, was in a dance studio on the premises of Capital Dreams Pictures with 5 other team members and myself, that is Clarence Peters now, 7 people in total, at about 7:30 p.m. on the same day, while in another office, a building beside the dance studio. On the same premises, some people who were said to be with Love Divine at the time rushed in and called my attention to the fact that Love Divine had collapsed. We immediately rushed her to the nearest hospital, which refused to let us into their premises, let alone admit her. They assumed she was a COVID-19 patient. We tried, but we were not able to gain entry into a second hospital. We eventually got her to a third hospital, where she was pronounced dead 30 minutes after arrival. I was not physically in the same room as her when the incident occurred, and when I inquired, I was told by those present at the scene that Love Divine, while taking a break from the dance session, was sitting on one of the metal sliding door rails, charging and using her phone plugged to an extension box. The witness didn't realize anything was wrong until they saw she had laid down and they noticed smoke coming from her chest area. She was said to be electrocuted. Her phone was found on her chest with severe burn marks and the phone's imprint on her chest. The witnesses were taken to the Ojodu police headquarters straight from the hospital, where statements were taken, and the phone, which had traces of burnt flesh on it, was deposited. The following day, the police conducted an examination of the body and were taken to the scene of the incident for further examination. The police are currently carrying out a full-scale investigation into the events that occurred, and an autopsy will be carried out with the full permission and consent of her family. Please note that no one has been charged or arrested by the police. The witnesses and I willingly made ourselves available to the police, and we have all pledged our full cooperation through every part of this process. I will be helping out in every possible capacity. Love Divine and the entire Westlife crew was a huge part of Capital Dreams Pictures, and losing her hurts us all deeply. She was an exemplary person and a legend in her own rights. We will miss her very much. Words will never be enough to describe what her family is going through in these trying times. My thoughts and prayers are with them, and I ask God to grant them all strength and fortitude at this time. This is a truly difficult time for us all, and we are asking for a lot of patience and goodwill from the general public in these difficult times. May God help us through this. Clarence Peter concluded on the death of Kodak. So there you have it, people. So that's the side, the version of Clarence Peters. You know, when I first heard this story, I actually thought that at the time that Kodak died, Clarence Peters was in the same room with Kodak. But from Clarence Peters' version of the story, he wasn't even in the same building structure with her. She was in another structure where it happened. And obviously, Kodak was electrocuted. From what I can see, her phone was plugged to the socket. Maybe while it was plugged, she was making use of it. I've heard this theory that when the phone is being charged, you're not supposed to make calls with it or operate it because it's dangerous and it could lead to some kind of if there are electrical problems, you could get electrocuted in the process. So I guess that's what happened to Kodak here. And from what Peter said, the phone fell on her chest kind of and burnt her, electrocuted her and burnt her severely. And one thing I'm looking at, if the first hospital had admitted Kodak, probably Kodak would have still been alive. And even if the first hospital rejected her, if the second hospital had admitted her, she still would have been alive. Remember, it was when she got to the third hospital that she was declared dead. Now, all of this incident is so unfortunate. It's so unfortunate that this happened during a time of a COVID-19 pandemic. But I'm wondering, shouldn't there be a way for hospitals to be able to identify or pinpoint COVID-19 patients or symptoms? Clearly, Kodak was brought to the hospital. People complained that she was electrocuted. But when doctors or hospitals see a COVID-19 patient, shouldn't there be some kind of way they can easily detect that this is COVID-19 and this is not? So what the hospitals are telling us that in this pandemic era, no one should be brought to the hospital, right? Because I'm trying to imagine how, when I heard the news, I was like, how did she die? Because I know that when someone is electrocuted, it takes, in some cases, it could take some time before the person dies. So if the person was taken to the hospital quite early enough, how could the person just die just like that? It was not until after I heard Peter that I knew that she had been taken to 3 hospitals before she finally gave up. Well, my heart goes out to Kodak and her family. It's such a painful death. Obviously, the police are on the case and they're investigating right now. This is clearly an accident. So we cannot hold Clarence Peters responsible for this. We cannot hold anyone else responsible for this. I heard Clarence's girlfriend made some responses about this. I'm gonna bring up her story shortly. I'm gonna see what she talked about. I think we should take that story just right about now. Stick around. Jennifer Alegionu, a makeup artist and girlfriend of Clarence Peters, a music video director, says her boyfriend was not at the scene when Picture Kodak died. Police authorities in Lagos had detained Peters after Kodak, a dancer and video vixen, was electrocuted at his home while attempting to receive a call on her phone while it was charging. Alegionu, who described herself as Peter's partner for 14 years, took to her Instagram page on Monday to issue a statement accusing the police of laxity. She wondered why the police would accuse him of murder without an autopsy report. She also claimed that her boyfriend was not arrested, adding that he only honored the invitation of the police for questioning. It's sickening, the corruption and laxity in the Nigerian police force. But first, let me start with you, the ones who follow blogs and comment without thinking. She wrote that someone earns a living from breaking homes and destroying people's reputation is something that should naturally be worrisome to you, but no, it refreshes you. As Clarence's 14 years long girlfriend, let me state authoritatively that Clarence Peters was invited to the police command Yaba and he went there willingly. He was not arrested, neither was he charged with murder as stated by the press statement from the police command through their spokesperson Bala Elkanah. We chose to keep quiet until the autopsy result comes out before addressing the press, and of course the police report to exonerating him was signed and collected. Kodak, whose real name is Love Divine, had worked with top musicians including the likes of Olamide, Burna Boy, and Wizkid, some of who paid tributes when news of her death broke. On Friday, 2nd of May, an investigative team led by IPO Mr. Popola, after the on-scene investigation was done, visited the body at the morgue and concluded they had no case with Clarence Peters, who was not on the scene of the incident. Alegianu's statement continued. Shegun, the business manager, the 4 dancers, and 2 other members of staff of Capital Dream Pictures, all referred to as witnesses, said it was a natural incident. He wrote his report to that effect. Events took a different turn when the DCP Yetunde Longe came in and asked that the report be torn. He wrote a second one that she tore again. By the third report, then came in Mr. Oye and his father, Shina Peters, and she couldn't continue with her foul play. She agreed they had no case with him and the rest of the witnesses. So why are you still holding him? Everyone asked. She said she was waiting for the autopsy result so she can attach it. When she saw she had been caught, she sent them to put out a press statement that he was charged for murder. So, thinking Nigerians, can someone be charged without an autopsy conducted? Backtrack a bit. After LD, picture Kodak, passed on, it took more than 24 hours to seek the consent from her family to conduct that autopsy. By the time the consent was gotten, due to the COVID-19 that caused Nigerian court closure, the autopsy was to start on Monday, being tomorrow. So again, how are we talking? He's being charged for murder. Since they decided to throw the first blow of negativity, let's go all out with the information. You have all been waiting for a response from him, and because he chose to be law-abiding, someone who contributes positively to the Nigerian economy, they want to tarnish his name. An artist, everyone is quiet. Nobody is asking questions other than how can she be electrocuted? Is it right? Who's going to charge PACN to court for the surge? Yetunde Alonge said if he was an ordinary person, she would have let him go, but he and his parents are celebrities. That is why. Since you all seek to know if Clarence murdered her, if Clarence raped her, why can't you all then march to Panti and ask your police force questions? Don't sit on blogs spilling fallacies and stamp your imprint by commenting ignorantly. We were going to wait for the results in her family, but clearly everyone is keeping quiet and dragging him in the mud. I have never kept quiet in the face of ills. I won't start now. And to CP Biodu, stay strong because this too shall pass. Wow. If you ask me, that's some serious rant by a ferocious lady, a lady who's angry. Now, Clarence Peters' girlfriend is obviously angry here that everyone seems to be blaming Clarence Peters for the death of Kodak. So she went out on her Instagram page and lashing out on media houses, especially bloggers. She was lashing out on bloggers that why would they have to feed on sad news concerning people? Now, she is throwing allegations here at the police. She's throwing allegations at the laxity of the police. She's saying the police is, the police has, the police has this laxity attitude that why would the police accuse someone of murder when the autopsy results aren't out yet? Wow. I think the ladies got some valid points. So if it was established that Clarence Peters wasn't in the same room where Kodak was electrocuted, why is he being charged or why is he being held responsible for murder? But I'm a little bit kind of confused here. She herself claimed that the police didn't arrest Peter. So why is she then saying that the Peter is being charged for murder? Or is she accusing people of thinking Peter killed Kodak? Wow. We'll find out how this one plays out, because for now, the autopsy result isn't out yet, so we're gonna wait and see what the results will find out. Okay, stay glued to this channel. I'll be bringing you the reports concerning this and how it plays out. It's your boy OV Mark, and you're still tuned to Artified Optimist. If you're new, please click the subscribe button just below this video. If you're new, click the bell notification icon so that anytime I drop new videos, you can be notified. Like the video, share the video, drop your comments in the comment section below, and don't forget to stay safe and stay good. It's your boy OV Mark. See you next time. Take it away.